Let's look at some other track types. So other than ones that would contain content, I want to look at these ones, ruler and marker tracks. So ruler tracks, you might be used to this in Pro Tools, where you have bars and beats and frames and feet and maybe time code. You can do the same. It defaults to one single ruler track, which we right click on to set, but I can add multiple other ones. You can decide where they go. They half feature like your top ruler. You can still click and drag down on it for zoom, but different to the top ruler, you can't click to make that loop or not. And you'll see all three of my rulers are now in time code. The top built-in ruler you right click on to create two different display types, but for these ruler tracks you have to click on its name there. You can't rename this as something ruler. You just have to select, I want bars and beats for some music with some time code plus maybe some samples. I never use samples, but that gives you those different ruler tracks. And by the way, shortcut to delete a track, if you don't want to right click and say remove selected track, is Shift Delete. That will quickly remove those ruler tracks again. I'm going to delete the second audio track to make space for more ones. Now, the next one I want to show you is a marker track, and I find these to be extremely useful. The number one use I have my marker tracks for, well, number one and number two, would be for spotting and other notes, and for music cues. Obviously, like any other track, you can color code this, so I'm going to make it blue. And I usually have my cues and my marker tracks right at the top. We will revisit marker tracks when we look at ADR, because we use various marker tracks to map out the lines for each actor. But marker tracks are quite useful. Two buttons either add a specific marker or add a range marker. So if I do spotting notes and I want to fix something here or add sound effect there, I can just add that button and type a description. And it shows you the name of the marker there. The markers will be colored in the same way as the track, but nicely different to some other DAWs is you don't have those annoying marker lines that go across tracks, and you can have multiple marker tracks. So let's do that just to show you. Say this was our spotting notes track. I can actually move it over to this track, and let's say spotting notes is a different color. Sound effects, remember you have to select a track without anything else being selected, and I have something else selected, like I had the marker selected. I actually want the entire track to be green. There we go. Two different marker tracks. You have to click on a marker to be able to change its order. Description, there's a marker list that I'm not going to show you now, but when you do things like export marker lists or do ADR, you have to select which one is the active marker track. That's not going to matter too much if you just add stuff to the track. So I have my specific marker here, but if I select a range over here, I can add that range marker, which can be something else. Music cue. And you can see it shows up as that range over there. Now this can be used to create a range selection again, but range markers, that's how I create my music cues, which we'll cover in audio finishing techniques. And these are also what you're going to use to add your ADR cues or sound effects cues. Marker tracks are extremely useful for a lot of things like that. And you can also hide them and pack them into folders, which I will show you in a moment.